Hey guys, as usual, please like and subscribe if you like the content, share it as well, and let's get into this. Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to do any more reviews of Bad Batch, and I'll tell you why towards the end, but I'll make this as quick as humanly possible. So, as we know, they had to run away from Camino and Crossfire, and got this more intense inhibitor chip put in him, so then he was against his own guys, and he was already kind of leaning more towards being sort of the follow the follow the rules and all that stuff in episode one. So anyway, so here we go. So they're flying through space and they're going away, and it looks like they're going to land on Saluka, looking for Cut, who I guess was in Clone Wars. I didn't watch a bunch of Clone Wars. Quite frankly, I'm not gonna lie. And now there's so many episodes, it's almost too much. So I like that when they land. I like that when they land on Saluka, that shows the tiger, the three-eyed tiger thing from Attack of the Clones. I thought that was cool. A little throw in there, which was nice. So Omega gets off the ship, and the planet is beautiful, and she's only lived on a water planet, and she's in awe. Very much the same as when Rey left Jakku on a desert planet, and then they were going to Takodana and see Maz, and then, I never knew it could be so green. Very, very similar. Only this one's a little more intense because she sees dirt for the first time and makes a big deal out of the dirt. And again, I just want to remind everybody, remember she shoots the blaster perfect in episode one. Is this going to be another sort of female, not a whole lot of struggle, all powerful situation? I hope not. But I mean, I get it. She would be excited, right? She's never seen dirt. But they wrote her as a girl stuck on a certain type of planet, same as Rey. It's not. They're not doing a whole lot of, let's say, exploration story wise. It's pretty generic. And then they meet Cut and Sue, who they knew from before. They find out Rex from Clone Wars, if you remember that guy. I do remember that guy. He was there the day before. And then Omega has never played with any kids. So she goes and plays with the kids and doesn't understand playing catch, and then does, and yada yada yada, and they're playing with a ball. And then Cut mentions the Kaminoans. They wouldn't make a clone for no reason. Talking about Omega, there has to be a reason. So of course we're starting to. So at this point for me, this appears to be like a Mando show, maybe, and maybe Grogu is a little girl, and Mando is a group of these guys. Kind of at this point, anyway. It kind of. So again, it's fairly generic. It's not like these storylines, where they do these things with the exploration and stuff. It's been done so many times, right? Like she leaves her home planet and has to learn, and I think Cut tries to get a ride off the planet because the troopers are coming in, and he thinks he needs to get out of there, and he finds out you can only buy stuff with Imperial credits. And I do like seeing the Empire forming. I like the chain code registers and all the citizens having to buy and sell stuff so you can, you know, like I liked that they did that aspect, that they showed us that. I thought that was kind of cool. That this is kind of how they formed their control, because the chain codes weren't just for money use, but it identified people and stuff like that as well. Cut can't sign up for a code because he's a deserter, so now he's a little bit worried about it. Then they're back talking what they're gonna do, and the kids are still playing ball. The ball goes past the fence. The two kids, Cut's kids or whatever, Sue's kids, are like, no, don't go get it. And then they kind of forget that she's behind there, and then she goes and gets the ball, and now she's in a compromised position. And and we've seen this. This is again very generic story writing. And then Omega's gonna feel bad because she's making mistakes, and this is her first time off Camino, and blah blah blah. So now, okay, so Tech has to forge chain codes to get Cut and the kids off the planet. Now Omega's feeling like, I made a mistake and I miss home. Again, this is super generic, guys. Now we find out Tech's plan is to let them find their ship. The Empire find the Batch's ship, and then he'll hide on it, so they can tap into the system at the port to get the codes for this family. So Tech calls the clones, but doesn't realize Omega was still on the ship, all emotional, and they are picked up with her on it. Then they realize there are too many troopers around to sneak off the ship to deliver the discs with the laced codes. But then Omega and the discs are missing. And again, very generic. We've seen this on a million shows a million times. I'm guessing because she's small and will get through undetected and will make up, the feeling, of being a nuisance that she had. Guys, this is a kid show. Like, this is a kid show. Like, if I was 8, 9 years old, I would maybe like this show probably. Although I don't know if I would, because it moves slow for a kid show. So, that's who this is for. The buddy gets caught trying to get the boot off to free the ship from the clone troopers. Omega does get the codes to them and is upset about having to leave Hunter, which is a little much, seeing as she's known him for like a day or two. But whatever, it kind of reminds me of Ray and Han, and they were supposed to believe that her bond with him was super intense when he dies, with her reaction and stuff. And again, I don't know, a lot of Ray parallels, but these are very simple. This is super generic, been there, done that, type of deal. Still couldn't get the boot off. Wrecker literally pulls it off with his bare hands. This is a boot meant to lock a ship that weighs probably, I don't know how many, like 100 tons or some stupid thing, like so much weight, and somehow he just pulls it off. Again, this is for little kids, guys. This show, it is. I mean, this is not. And then we find out Omega snuck back to the batch ship and made it through the blasters and everything, so she could go home with Hunter. And she thinks he was trying to get rid of her because of the little mistakes she made as a kid, which, of course, again, this is very generic. They have the father-daughter moment, which for me comes way too early. The episode you do this maybe a few 3 or 4 or 5 episodes in, like they're supposedly so close. They've had like 4 conversations, right? So yeah, very similar to Ray's arc, at least to start, other than the kid part of it, I guess. Very generic episode writing where there's an orphan. The orphan gets connected to the leader of the pack, or the dad figure. The orphan gets to explore the world, makes some mistakes, starts getting emotional, tries to help without permission, does, but can't leave and go do what's probably best for her, which is to go with his family. So she sneaks back. Yeah, this is very generic, guys. Very, very generic. And this is a kid's show. I'm not going to review this show anymore, to be honest. I think it's boring. It's generic so far. It's very similar to the way I felt about Clone Wars when I tried to get into it the first season. It was really generic, really slow pacing, just not that interesting. And yes, I understand as it went on, it got better. And I did watch some of those later episodes that were better, but I don't know. I don't know. This show, it's just kind of whatever. And I feel like it's going to do stuff it's just going to be used again to explain this Palpatine coming back nonsense. So I don't know. I might touch base with it again, maybe, but I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments if you've watched it. It's not exciting. Like, it just isn't. So again, the place in the timeline is cool. I like seeing the rise of the Empire and how they controlled and were organized in outlying areas and all that stuff. That's neat, but that's not enough. It just isn't. And the orphan kid story, we've seen it all 1,000,000,000 times. We even saw it with Grogu essentially too. So it just feels kind of the same as it all. I don't know. You guys tell me. Again, like and subscribe. Have a good day.